And if you can, just grab you something to write with and something to write on. I want you to jot down 3 ways, real quick, that you can make 2022 your best year ever. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1. Welcome to the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast, a podcast about becoming 1% better every day. And now your host, yours truly, Clarence Stowers. Welcome to the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast, a podcast about becoming 1% better every day. This podcast focuses on inspiring and equipping highly motivated and creative people to take decisive action to level up in all aspects of life while producing their greatest work. Here we are on the brink of another year, a new year. We're exiting 2021 and we're headed into 2022. Every year, businesses, churches, individuals set goals for the new year. These goals are typically ambitious, and that's probably true for you who are listening in on today. Yet, how many times have you set a New Year's resolution just for it to fizzle out after January ends? Think about it. If your resolutions rarely come to fruition, I like that. It's time to rethink the way you create goals. No matter what your goal is, you want to make sure that you're taking the right approach. Now, as you set big goals for the new year, make a solid plan so that they become reality. Today, I want to talk a little bit about your success with the tips that I plan to share. Not only is that you can get 1% better in all areas of life, but that you can level up and face 2022 like a soldier. I know for some 2020 and 2021 were an emotional roller coaster. But today, I want to make sure you get the language right. I want to make sure you start right. I want to make sure that you are well positioned to make 2022 your best year ever. Think about it. All of us have been through a lot this year. And if you're truthful, think about it for one moment. You're not sure what to expect in 2022. I know some have experienced disappointments, and as we say in my world, the church world, but this too shall pass. And it's time for a fresh start in 2022. All of us, come on, be honest. We've experienced or know someone who's experienced drastic changes this year. And as a result, here's what happens. Our bodies and minds have reacted with increased anxiety levels, but with proper coping mechanisms, we've learned how to get through it. Think about that. We've learned how to fake it until we make it. We've learned how to keep the show going, how to keep the plates spinning. But this time of year, everywhere is, but this time of year, everybody is usually trying to to reinvent themselves. We've all gone through too much to cave in to the pressure, whether it's from the outside world or from ourselves. But what if I told you? Think about it for one moment. What if I told you that there is a way to get started in the fray? There's a way to make 2022 your best year ever. What if I told you that today can be potentially the best day of your lives? Would you take me up on that offer? Well, stick around. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how to make 2022 your best year ever, how to stay positive when things around us change, how to keep moving when it seems like you're stuck. Think about it. Now, if you follow these tips and you work diligently at implementing them, I guarantee you that your resolution, what you decide you wanted to do, what you resolve to do in 2022, stays intact throughout the year. Let's get started. Think about this. It's hard to go when you don't know. The pandemic that began in 2019 has lasted longer than anyone anticipated. No, I'm tired of it, and I know that many are ready to get on with their lives. There have been different predictions, many different predictions about how long it would last, but none have proven accurate. Man, this thing is like a bad house visitor who's overstayed their welcome, stayed too long. You know how it is when folks stay too long, man. They eat up all your food, find themselves in spaces that they should not be. And man, that's exactly how a bunch of us are feeling right now. So one of the challenges we face is that we still do not know how to get rid of it. Vaccines have come, but so have variants. And they haven't completely wiped out COVID, and there have been many, many variants that have emerged, sending us right back into a state of panic. Now, while some may feel hopeless in the face of this, come on, y'all, we must fight. Continue the good fight. Can't give up because we don't have all the answers. And we must find new ways to combat this and save as many lives as possible. Of course, do the things that we know to do, encourage those whom we have influence and visibility in their lives to do the same thing. But what I don't want you to do is to feel hopeless. No, we never give up hope. And since hope says that I continue moving regardless of the evidence, hope says that I keep raging regardless of what the situation says. Reality may say one thing, but hope says I'm holding out. And while I'm holding out, I'm going to keep moving regardless. And we may feel hopeless, but I believe that we must continue to fight, continue to go. So let's change the equation from it's hard to go when you don't know to let's go. Let's keep it moving, regardless of what it looks like. Hope says When it's hard to go, when you don't know, hope says, I keep moving regardless. The reason we keep going is I don't want you to get stuck. No one likes being stuck. And the aftermath of this tragedy has affected how some people can enjoy life. People, think about this. The people who were out and about before the pandemic are now taking caution to ensure their safety, as they should. And still, some may feel down because they can't enjoy life till its fullest. And they should. And some have adopted the mentality that something is better than nothing, right? And so we put pressure on ourselves to have fun at times like this. Now this is crucial because I read this from a psychotherapist and founder of the Critical Therapy Center, Sylvia Duchovisi. Information about it is in the show notes. And I love her term, shoulding, shoulding. Dr. Sylvia says we're shoulding ourselves, which implies that I should go out. I should be having a good time. I should want to see my friends. But have you ever paused to think about, and she brilliantly raises in her article, that our shoulds may not be what we want. And the consequences of shoulding that we're exhausted after the holidays. I know I can. Because we spent a lot of time entertaining others during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and for some, New Year's Eve. And it takes a lot to maintain social connections. It takes a lot to be re-energized. It takes a lot to make sure that these connections stay intact and that we manage and navigate these moments. So it's hard to be with other folk during this time and remain focused. You know why? I'm surprised you all haven't answered that question. You know why it's hard when you with others to remain focused? Think about it. Almost 2 years, now going into a third year, we haven't interacted with people for so long. And now we need to be recalibrated. We need to push that reset button. And by pushing that reset button, especially after a traumatic event, it gives us the ability to move forward when everything in us wants to stay still. Think about it in another light. Because we haven't interacted with others for so long, we have to reset our approach after this traumatic event, whether we want to or not. Man, Stowers, that's pretty dark, brother. Come on, man. Is there some light at the end of the tunnel? I told you earlier that today was all about how you can make 2022 your best year ever. Now that we've gotten through the tough part, imagine when you jump in a deep pool of water. First thing you do before that is you catch your breath. You go up under, and then you reemerge and you exhale, and that's exactly what we've just done. So we're almost at the end of the finish line. So we want to spend these last few moments discussing, or rather conversing, how can you make 2022 your best year ever? So as individuals, think about this. Can we, as individuals, do anything to feel better going into 2022? And yes, we can. I love that statement. Yes, we can. Takes me back to fond memories. Think about this. So how do we do it? How do we do it? And if you're driving, of course, just listen to this. You're working out, just listen to this. And if you can, just grab you something to write with and something to write on. I want you to jot down 3 ways, real quick, that you can make 2022 your best year ever. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, manage your expectations. Or as I often like to say, control what's controllable. Since the pandemic, life has changed in so many ways. And one thing that's important to understand is that there is no going back to how things were before. Manage your expectations. On one hand, you have reality. On the other hand, you have expectation. So hold up your left hand, that's reality. Hold up your right hand, that's expectations. Now, there should be a gap in between your left hand and your right hand, your reality and your expectations. In that gap, you get to choose what you put into it. What is that? Wait a minute. You get to determine the quality of your happiness by how you handle the gap between what's real and what you expect. Now, those of us who walk together and who know me know where I'm going with this. We put hope there. Hope says, I keep moving even though there is no tangible evidence that things in my reality are going to get better. So you manage your expectations by controlling what's controllable. What's controllable is my attitude, my work ethic, the energy I bring, the preparation. I can control that. And what I cannot control are outcomes and other people. And trying to recreate something that we've lost is likely going to lead disappointment. But if you look ahead, there are opportunities for growth and different connections that may even be better than what came before. Trying to recreate something you lost is likely to lead to disappointment. So we manage our expectations by controlling what's controllable. Well, secondly, live in the moment. Make a promise to yourself that I'm going to live in the moment. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it a habit to live in the moment. And here's why. See, as humans are naturally uncomfortable with uncertainty. This explains why things are difficult to change. We are naturally uncomfortable with uncertainty. So therefore, you plan in pencil. That's one of my mantras, because I need to be able to erase some things. Plan in pencil. Because planning for 6 months or a year now may lead to disappointment later because we still don't know how things will shake out. Live in the moment. Instead of thinking of the consequences that may or may not happen in the future. Think of what you have right now. Think about how far you've come from where you were a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 weeks ago. Live in the moment. Stay calm. Don't worry. Worry is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but you don't go anywhere. You have motion without progress. Relax. Stay calm. Worry about what will happen in the future, because what will happen is unpredictable. And since you planned in pencil, you can erase, rewrite, readjust, because life is unpredictable. And we need to learn how to do this, because this will keep you sane in 2022. You manage your expectations. Secondly, while living in the moment. And then finally, remember above all things, rest is a weapon that allows you to reset. Rest is a weapon. There's a reason we liken this pandemic to the zombie apocalypse. Now, I confess I watch shows like The Walking Dead, because these shows, to me, are metaphors of people who have given up on their dreams, people who walk around aimlessly with no purpose and no clue, people who have resolved that nothing is going to change, nothing good is going to happen. So for me, it's like a metaphor. And the reason we liken the pandemic to the zombie apocalypse is because that's what it feels like. Man, this world is exhausting. And people are tired. And as we get ready to start this third year of the pandemic, we can barely keep up with the work, let alone with anything else in our lives. So now creativity is gone. Innovation is gone. This is why rest is a weapon. It allows you to reset and gives you time to reflect. So resting allows resetting through reflecting. Here's what you do when you reflect. Take time. Take time to reflect on the good and the bad moments of 2021. Now, this is essential. Here's why. Reflecting on the good and the bad moments of 2021 allows us to celebrate our accomplishments while yet learning from our challenges. It's crucial to remember that no year is not without its ups and downs. So even though 2021 may have been tough for some, there was still plenty of happy moments. By acknowledging what we've been through, we can give ourselves the space to process it all and move on stronger than before. Here's what I do know. Rest is a weapon that allows you to reset, live in the moment while managing your expectations. So here's what I know. If we practice those 3 principles, let them be the foundation of any goals you set, any tasks you want to complete. Here's what I do know. 2022 presents many opportunities while causing us to change the way we do things. So take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Stay strong during the process. And hopefully, by following these tips, we'll be able to make 2022 a year to remember. Did you catch that? Get it? Got it? Good. See you next time. You've been listening to the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast. Join us next time for more insights on becoming 1% better each day and leveling up in all areas of life. What a phenomenal episode, and my hope is that you heard something inspiring, something creative, something that helped you push the pause button and reflect. Are you enjoying the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast? If so, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. As a matter of fact, make sure you let everyone know. And while you're at it, go ahead and leave a review. It helps the podcast grow. Thank you. You've been listening to the Clarence Stowers Leadership Podcast. Join us next time for more insights on becoming 1% better each day and leveling up in all areas of life.